There we go. We are live. Hello, everybody. I'm Blank. This is Saves vs. Death, and tonight we're doing an episode of Night City Sofa. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna let Jess take it away because she's the host tonight.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Are you not the host?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I'm just the one who asks the questions, or some questions, leads things of an
Moderator?
abstract discussion. Moderator, we'll pretend.
We could start with, like, do we have any announcements to make? I don't think we do.
No, we have no announcements. It's cool. I'm here with Gojira and GM Blake, and we're going to chat about what's been going on the streets of Night City, because it's been a while since we've checked in with the crew and asked questions. So that's what we're going to do.
Cool.
Awesome.
So I, of course, or Blake. Oh man, I don't know which way to point.
Yeah, you're pointing the right way.
No, the right way. Okay, good.
You are pointing the right way.
Woo! Blake is, of course, our illustrious GM. He gets to make all our crazy, wacky dreams come true. Hades
More like nightmares.
currently plays Deeps. And Wraith, that's a really awkward angle. Or
Wraith?
Deeps plays Wraith. Do you know I practiced this like 5 times today, and I was like, I'm still gonna screw it up.
I know.
I do it too, though.
Games, you just
I'm just
Just
so believable
great
in the character.
as Wraith that you just become always.
You're
Right.
just perma.
I'm real method.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's just your two method.
Too
Yeah.
method for us. Might as well call you Daniel Day-Lewis.
So we asked on Twitter and Discord, and if you're not part of our Discord, you should totally join our Discord.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so you can ask us questions. We're pretty chatty in there, and come hang out.
Come hang out with us.
It's pretty
Be our
great.
buddy.
Yeah. So I
We've
have
been
some
having
questions.
some good conversations actually lately in there.
We have, and you get to see fun pictures of Moxie's clothing that I post every week, and
Yeah.
Wraith has random song lyrics and stuff.
And like
Blog entries, that's it.
it's not blog entries. It's like it's like the cyberpunk equivalent of a tweet.
Yeah.
A garden post.
Yeah.
I'll be posting things from Moxie's agent, so I think I'm going to start sending out messages to Cammy.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Moxie's
amazing.
text to Cammy. Because I think about it all the time, and I don't do it on stream, and I'm like, I want to post those somewhere, so that's probably what I'll start doing.
Oh, that's so sweet. I miss
That will
Cammy
be-
so much.
I will be starting one called Deep Thoughts with Deeps.
Deep thoughts.
Deep.
I like deep thoughts.
Yeah,
So
that's perfect.
That'll be awesome. Is it gonna be like Jack Handy's deep thoughts?
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
'Cause those are the best.
I once
I-
hit myself with a hammer and realized it hurt. Deep
Yes.
thoughts.
Well,
That's not a real quote, but
we are
it's something
talking
like
about
that. I can't
an
remember.
angsty teenager who just lost his entire family.
Oh,
So
true.
they
Speaking
could get-
of-
they could get interesting.
Right.
I just want to remind people, if you're not caught up, this is a spoiler
Spoiler.
episode. Massive spoiler episode.
Huge
So-
spoiler. She's got it right.
Should we tell them what happens this week?
Yes.
Everyone
For
dies.
next Saturday. Oh, she's got it right.
We're starting
That's
a new
perfect.
campaign next Saturday. As everybody
We're not.
died.
Don't.
Yep. There's a countdown timer to see if you can kill us all before the intermission. Not true.
I can.
I hope. But yes, so if you're not caught up, please be mindful that there will be spoilers ahead. Caution, there be monsters, there be spoilers ahead. This is your overall warning. And if you have any questions during the stream, feel free to throw them out in chat,
Yeah.
and we will get to them.
Chat with us if you're out there.
I'm gonna start with Blank.
Okay.
Because you're really awesome at letting us do all our wacky, insane stories and pulling things off rails and going in random directions. How many times have you shifted the story around to fit what we want to do, and have you still been able to tell the overarching story that you had wanted to tell, or did we completely change the story that you originally had in mind?
Well, so again, I thought the story, I think I've said this before. So at the beginning, you know, it was kind of open-ended. I mean, it's always been open-ended, but I was going to say, I thought you guys were going to be able to defend Shady Acres. I didn't think you were going to follow Rico out, basically. And when you guys did, I had did it in such a way that, of course, why wouldn't you follow him out, though? But I, you know, it's still up in the air. Anyway, what I was trying to get at is that was going to be like, I thought the game was going to be like a kind of an apartment sim. You guys would try to, like, you know, keep this apartment together and do what you can to defend it and stuff. But it's changed obviously since then. Has it changed since then? Yeah, there's a lot of things that have happened that, like, I thought you would be more interested in and weren't, or maybe less interested in but pursued. And yeah, that happens all the time. There's like pages where I'm just like, well, this isn't happening.
But it might come back.
I mean, I never delete anything because it can always be recycled in some way. In fact, I'm doing that very soon. It's recycling something that I had actually designed for something else, but is gonna come up. I won't get into what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, don't give us an advantage.
No. So yeah, it evolves all the time. What you guys do obviously shapes what I'm doing. Especially, you know, your interactions with certain people in the story changes how that is going to unfold. So it's cool to see. I'm interested to see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
Any NPCs in particular that you were like, yeah, this is just a throwaway, other than obviously like Veronica, but I mean, like, did you expect us to latch on to like pawns and all of them as much as we have?
No, I did not expect Pons to be such a prevalent member. I knew, you know, you'd go to see him, but you guys are like, I would consider you guys friends with him. Which is not something I really expected. Or Rex, honestly. I didn't think you guys would like Rex much or hang around him very often. He's definitely become a more predominant member than I expected. Swag was also another. In fact, I'd say most of the characters that you guys have been around. I thought Eminem was going to become more prominent earlier on. But it's good to see them finally come because I've been planning those NPCs for a very long time.
That makes sense because I've always noted that it was which one? Not McKinley, the other one.
Mendez.
Pablo Mendez, yeah.
Yes, he was at every crime scene that we interacted with.
I did mention him.
Word.
Although, yes. I mean, in the Glen, it was
like,
some different cops, but I had them worked out too. And, yep. Obviously, I've thrown them. This is what I'm talking about with throwing things away. Like, I had these two cops that I think Wraith talked to for maybe, like, I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe.
Was that the ones in Little Italy?
Yeah, the ones in Little Italy. I had them, like, worked out and, you know, stat blocked and, like, ready to become more prominent, and they just never came up again.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, you never know.
We might go back to Little Italy.
Yeah, we could take over that gang we wounded.
Well, yeah.
I mean, kind of.
It's true.
Maybe.
Become crime bosses.
I'm sorry, I think I've lost track of the question. Oh yeah, Swag was another one. Yeah, I didn't expect him to be. I mean, he was a virtue artist. It's interesting to see how much he's come up. I didn't really plan it that way, but now that I like think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, this makes sense that they keep coming back to this guy. They keep finding BDs they need cut. For that little arc that's going on, I expected that arc to end a million years ago.
How?
no, not Hal. The sister.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We've been busy.
yeah. Rent was kind of important. Are you excited that we're finally getting to that?
Yes.
Is this like and we're still you gave us one step and we're like, nah, job.
Yeah, I know.
Money.
I
Yeah.
even gave you the put it into your hands.
Yeah,
And
but it's
then
fine. You
it's
put
like,
it into your
nope.
hands 5 days before rent's due. Can't do that.
That's just bad timing. I didn't intend that at all. But yeah, no, it's been good. Oh, another one is Dave Wacko. He's been like a reoccurring character who, like, I just wrote back because I knew that he Wraith was making a vigil, so I'm like, okay, who are these bands? Dave Wacko sounds fun. Because I wanted it to be like, I don't know, like had this Dave Matthews as like, how about do the opposite of Dave Matthews, Dave Wacko.
Right. Dave Wacko.
And sure enough, and I'd forgotten that I named him Dave when you made your guy David, your groupie, and so I didn't even think about
Agent
to change it. So now I've had to differentiate them by this guy's very adamant that his name is David.
I adore David.
I like David a lot too.
I like my crew. I need to bring them out more often.
Yeah, they should be around more often. But
I like your emo guy who just tells you shit
Grim.
straight. Because he is like so rude and yet so on point.
Keep him around to keep me grounded.
Yeah.
No.
I like the other one, his foil.
The one that's just like,
Sam.
That's a great idea.
Man.
Everything's great, yeah.
It's a great dichotomy.
Dave is kind of like the middle ground between those two. David, I'm sorry.
David.
Dave is insane when he's on coke.
Well, we find out a lot of people are insane when they're on coke, though.
Right. Oh, true. Sony was not. I'm sad Sony went to jail because I really liked saying Daddy-O.
I still consider him a friend, even though
kind of
he
like
murdered a friend of mine.
Oh, do you? Wow. He lit him on fire.
All of that.
I didn't see any of it.
True.
To come back and bite Moxie in the ass, so that'll be fun.
For waiting on what? To come back and bite her on the ass?
The whole die knife situation.
Oh. I won't say anything.
I know. It'll be
By
fine.
that, it means that we're fine. There nothing interesting is going to happen there.
So long as Die Knife is fighting Tiger Claw and Sony's still in jail, Moxie's less worried. It's when those things end that there's a problem.
Well,
and you didn't even get to meet the politician.
Yeah, I was going to say you put the politician that had his back in jail, so that might keep him in there for real.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Very tempting. You know what? I'm gonna ask the questions that were in the Discord in case we run out of time. So I'm gonna go through those first.
Oh, that's probably a good plan.
Probably might help. Wraith. What real life band sounds most like Wraith's original band?
This is a question from Crosswire, by the way.
Oh, nice. Hi, Crosswire. I'd like to think that it was something along the lines of like the Mountain Goats meets Early Atmosphere, but I'm sure it was less organized than that. So it's
More
like
chaotic version,
aggressive NPR rock, if that answers the question. Bare naked ladies, but angry.
I was thinking something more like synth.
Ooh.
Oh no, we definitely have synth in there,
like Aha or something. I think that was synth. I don't know.
Yeah, fairly. Picture like Ben Folds 5, but with synth instead of piano.
Huh.
Okay.
I think that's the closest I can get to our original sound.
Okay.
My new stuff's a lot like Buddy Wakefield, so.
Nice.
Oh, all right.
It's like spoken word open mic, or not open
yeah.
mic, poetry, spoken word, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot like slam poetry over like just weird beats. Yeah.
Are you still going to be continuing that? Wraith's music?
Yes. I plan to continue Wraith's musical career. It probably won't be his primary focus anymore because he feels like he has a lot of stuff to get done. But like I was writing songs in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I plan on continuing to do it. I don't know if I'm ever gonna try to get a band back together, but like joining other people in with their projects and stuff like that might be more what I end up doing.
So collab.
Yeah, collabs and stuff like that. So and some solo stuff.
Nice.
Because another question we had was somewhere that I can't find if anybody had considered multi-classing. So games with Wraith's music thing on the back end. Hi Karma, thank you for being here.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for your support.
I actually did multi-class. I don't know, and this is kind of on blank, but there was a lot of talk about how Wraith would come out of what had happened with Cass and all that. Whether he would go more the Ronin side of things and become more of a vigilante rocker boy, or the healer side of things and become a doctor rocker boy, which we're still trying to figure out exactly how that looks.
Thank you for the posture check, by the way, Karma.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a whole but like mini background story about me, choosing a path and everything. I've kind of been forced onto a path, but I don't think I'm going to limit myself all the way. But I have multi-classed into Dr. Rocker Boy now. So
he's Dr.
Rocker Boy.
Dr. Feelgood.
Yes. Yes.
I know, I'm terrible at posture. I'm always like, how much to over?
Well, and I'm like leaning into my camera all the time.
Yeah, I've seen glimpses of the Doctor shift.
Yeah, I've been trying to work it in slowly.
Yeah. So. It's nice. It's been a nice like little layering.
Yeah.
Has anybody else considered multi-classing?
I have.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What is Deep's gonna multi-class as?
Well, not as much with Deep's, but I think.
Thank you for the chair.
Karl. Thank you, Karl.
Thank you so much.
She's cheering your good posture, guys. Let's keep it up.
I was thinking, actually, as a tech.
Ooh, yeah, that would be cool. If Cass would have gone tech solo.
Yeah, and I might do it with Deeps as well. I mean, imagine a person who can handle all electronics tech.
That would be nice.
At that point. And think up their own.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yep.
Then Muxie wouldn't have to go to Rory for things.
Well, it just might be handy. and I mean, imagine the money you could make at that too.
For sure.
Like.
Yeah. It's true.
Moxie, are you going to cross-class into cop?
That makes sense to me too.
Cop reporter.
I see Moxie more as solo.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I don't know why. I just see it.
We'll see where Moxie goes. I don't I generally tend to, I guess technically she did multi-class a little bit. She used to be Nomad back in Session
Zero.
Yeah. But she's an ex-Nomad, yeah. I just don't have any of the skills or the roles for it, but she was ex-Nomad. Now media.
Actually, maybe this next mission might bring out your Nomad side, and then you would cross-class.
It's true. We will see some more Nomads.
Nope.
Blank, are you considered multi-classing?
I am. I was thinking about multi-classing as a player.
There's really no other option for you.
Yeah. GM/player. No.
Maybe one day.
No. I like what I do.
I don't I don't know. I like generally sticking to one thing and seeing where it can go, but I don't hold to where she's gonna go. So if it made sense story-wise, yeah, she'd switch. but I would need that to be there in the story.
Makes sense.
So I think she's pretty good about taking down corpse right now in her very unique, specific, and empathetic way.
I mean, she dealt a massive blow to Knife and, well, Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. And it's only gonna get worse. Yep.
That's Cyberpunk.
We're keeping
It's
the
only gonna get worse.
Cyberpunk.
It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
You know what? It's so good, funny. She's trying so hard to take down these corpses, but like protect like Chinook Avenue.
Yeah.
What we need to do. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What we need to do is create other aliases now that exist so that we can fall back into them if the heat gets too hot.
Yeah, because we're too recognizable. So we need to have vigilante alter egos.
We only have a rep or two.
Yeah,
guys are not that important, is what I just heard.
Who Phantom is.
It's Wraith.
Wraith, I mean.
We all know Wraith.
Been a day.
Hey, Delaware, Maine recognized me by name only. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, she lives right across the street from where you live.
But Moxie doesn't show her face on her videos.
True.
Just saying. We're popular in Chinook Avenue. Maybe Wraith in the greater Watson area. So what you're saying is we do jobs outside of Watson and we don't need the alias.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Our rep of 2 doesn't matter.
Yeah, we probably don't want to do anything locally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
But it's been so fun.
Moxie's totally going to do shit locally. I'm sorry, guys.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
No. The
I'm not.
cops are watching us, so yeah.
No, she's going to bring down new set.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh man.
I mean, it's not local for Deeps.
No.
That's true.
You're good. This is anti-local.
Nobody knows who I am.
True.
You're our wild card.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Mindy's nice. I wish I had like a good change in topic. I don't. But
segue.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's what you mean? Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. Hades, for Cass, we did have a question. If he had any high cost skills, specifically like martial arts or the weapons.
Oh, like the ×2 style skills.
I mean, Cass did have a ×2 skill. He actually had 3 ×2 skills. I was able to raise demolitions to a 1 during game. And then he had auto fire at a 3. And then he had martial arts at a 4. And that's why he was able to kick butt.
He's actually a really good martial artist.
And speaking of martial arts, which style? They want to know what style it was and where
Karate.
did he learn?
Karate.
And he learned from his master. Here, it's on the sheet. Oh, actually, Blank named them. I didn't have a name down there.
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to check my notes.
Yeah, but they learned it in a different city, Atascardo City.
Ascadero
City. Yes.
Interesting. What brought Cass to Night City then?
Well, actually, so Cass's backstory, and I guess I can give. I mean, it's obvious I could probably give this up a little bit.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Just a reminder, guys. Spoiler warning.
His backstory is that his parents grew up. Him and his parents grew up in a corporate. What's the big structure called?
Arcology.
Arcology, and he was picked for one of their teams, and he got trained in all that stuff for the team. So he was handpicked out of people. He was trained at a young age, and just started going through military stuff. Well, more mercenary stuff. Right. But it was all out of that. And then he basically got out of it, and that's why he never wanted to settle. He wasn't wanting to settle down. He was too afraid of people getting hurt around him, and that's why he was so protective of the people that he enjoyed being around. Because he didn't want to lose anybody else. He lost members of his teams. He was the only one to survive one of the missions, and then that's when he bowed out. They thought he was dead.
Oh. Let people think he was dead and escaped to Night City.
And
Right.
that relates back to my question number 1 for today, which is, have I ever lost a lot of content? And him, Cass's whole thing is like gone, and I had like
went up in smoke.
I was like, preparing a bunch of stuff for it.
You might be able to use it. We could resurrect Cass.
And his full name was Casanova Frankenstein.
That's amazing.
And if anybody knows where that's from, I will give you brownie points.
Right.
Because I don't. Taka Nishiyama was the instructor's name, and she did show up at the funeral.
The Pomona. Yeah.
Pomona. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She was there.
But that's why Cass was so afraid to commit to Cammy. It was his back's everything related. Just like he didn't want to leave because, I mean, his Cass was Casanova. I mean, he had a lot of relationships. He had a lot of tragic relationships.
Every person we met,
like this
Cass's ex.
Cass's ex.
Well, and like anybody who's listened to the Patreon content knows, when we were doing character creation, and he rolled like how many past lovers, it was like all of them.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. And then they were all still friends.
Yeah.
All of them.
You actually were about to find out too that Cass is bi.
It's true.
So there was going to be more people that you ran into that had Cass.
Amazing.
So yeah,
it's true.
So it was just then, and I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I'm sad to see that character go, but I mean, it happens.
It does, in Cyberpunk especially. This is kind of unrelated, but I had a friend who played. It was their first game of Cyberpunk. We just finished making their character. They spent, some time on it. And the first combat we get into, this was 2020. I don't know if I said that. It was I rolled hit location, which is what you did back then. It was
by
in
the way,
head.
the game Cyberpunk 2020, not in the year 2020.
Right. For
those of us who didn't play Cyberpunk before Cyberpunk Red.
Oh, right.
Just gonna make that distinction. Yep.
It was a headshot, and I killed them in the first turn of combat.
Oh.
And they're like, I never want to play this game again. Sorry.
Well, and that's kind of why we adopted it at the time when we started our first off-mic game, was because we like how literally no matter how good you are, you could die at any moment. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. The gritty combat and simulation style combat is like definitely what allures me to Cyberpunk. Definitely. I like toss up between it being my favorite system and Mage. Like I know I always say Mage. I love Mage. I just think it's so cool. But I really like Cyberpunk, and I think I'm a better GM for Cyberpunk.
No, I've liked Mage games.
I like the Mage game really well.
I appreciate that. It's kind of Cyberpunk in its own way, though, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's very cerebral, though, in comparison.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Elf Lines.
Oh.
Are we gonna do an Elf Lines game?
Well, I mean,
maybe.
Mage, fantasy, real. I mean,
right.
It's Elf Lines.
Does Elf Lines have magic in it? I haven't read that section.
Oh,
yes.
So. Does it?
I'm pretty sure it does.
I thought it was low fantasy as well.
It might be. I don't know.
I mean, there's magical elements for sure.
There are, yeah. But speaking of Elf Lines, one of the questions was, we know that Cammy does play as an adult. Speaking, that's something else I want to add to Moxie's agent is Text with Cammy, where she sets up like a weekly game that they log into
they raid
and
every
play.
week.
Yeah. But if it had traditional classes like in World of Warcraft, what would Cammy G play?
Oh, fuck. I don't know World of Warcraft that well.
It's D&D classes.
Yeah.
It's D&D classes.
Okay.
Cool.
Probably like a sorcerer then? I think that seems like her. Yeah.
I can see her as a sorc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even a healer squish.
I don't see her as a healer. No, I think
could,
she'd be too mad.
But but that's the thing. She would be like the roughest healer ever.
Yeah.
Well, she would give you sass for dying, and if you died too many times, she'd just be like, "No, I'm done with you," and walk away.
If you don't get out of the AOE, you don't get healed.
Yep.
The priest class, which is what you could be in World of Warcraft, which is a caster class, has 3 different branches, and one is healing, obviously big heals.
Sure.
The other is damage, actually. And then the other is kind of in the middle.
Gotcha.
So, that priest class fits her. That would work. There's also,
Maybe. She did save Moxie's life.
Yeah.
She did.
If only she stayed around to save another one.
But she might like the priest class because she could be like, you fucked her. You pulled it. Not healing.
Yeah, I can see her doing that. I can see her totally doing that, being like, nope, you ran in too early. Leroy Jenkins, die. And just walk away.
Yes.
Who told you to kite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I wish I understood Warcraft a little bit more so I could more fully answer that question, but that's the best I've got.
That's not bad. We'll take it. I'm curious though, Hades, how was transitioning from cast to deeps?
I think we're all curious about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, something I wanted to do, and I'm not sure how well I'm pulling it off difference-wise yet, but I'm trying to play an angsty Tane. But for Cass, his style was so. I'm trying to be. How do I say this? I wanted to make a character. I wanted to make a character that was more just totally different. I wanted to something that he's not alike, because it would be too easy to fall back into that, because that is my normal. That is when I role play. I tend to go that route a lot.
Tend to go towards a Cass type.
A paladin, as my wife says. And so I'm trying to play a character now that is different, a lot different, trying to be more worried about themselves, more after money, more after, more just different dynamics. Yeah.
That's understandable.
But it's hard to let go of a character you played for 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I felt so bad when I saw this happen. I was like, oh.
Dude, it was hard for me almost losing a character after 4, so I can't imagine after.
I got to go out epically, thanks to Blank, which is at that point that I was like, he's screwed. There's no way I'm out. And Blank let me do the final thing I wanted to do. So, that was really cool. And to try to be more epic and make it worth
epic.
It was
and he
epic.
gets to go to Cyber Valhalla. So
yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. That was, I felt horrible. I didn't realize I didn't realize how close you were, but I wouldn't have changed what I've done. But yeah.
Well, there were a couple times where we could have either A, backed down, or B, done differently, or if I would have rolled better. I mean, it was all chance. I mean, that's really what it boiled down to, is that
It
exact
really
thing
was.
you just talked about Cyberpunk.
Right.
Is I missed what I needed to hit by one.
Right.
If I would have rolled one higher, none of that would have happened.
Everything different.
Everything would have been different.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So that it's just that's what's nice about Cyberpunk, is it playing like this, is it takes you out of the game, the video game itself, and actually makes it so that shit actually happens.
Right.
Yep. But I mean, that's why I'm drawn to this game. I love this game so much. It's intense. Like when Moxie, at the very beginning, when you got fucked up those 2 times, pretty much back to back. I didn't know at the time that explosions couldn't cause crits, so that's changed some sense. But you would still have a hand if that were the case.
It's fine.
But
I got a fancy new one.
I think it was way better story this way. Anyway, yeah, I felt bad then too, but it's kind of like same time. It's the game.
Right.
You play for keeps.
And talking about like our attachment to the character, when Hades was talking about the transition that he needed to make between them, we only roleplay with you guys, the 1 day a week, but we spend a lot of our time thinking like, what would our character do and what's their plans going forward and stuff like that. So we actually spend quite a bit of time with our characters. And so, yeah, no, I can understand that would be a rough transition into a new character.
Yeah, same. Now you know how you feel every time you one-shot my villains.
Never happened.
Which my characters have never done. Not ever.
Yeah, the king. Right. In your defense, that guy really needed to die. He was a fucked up individual.
Yeah.
Not a good man.
Well,
no.
My character was literally a sniper and had a rifle.
You had a beat on him.
And I had a beat on him. And I took it.
We knew he had too good of armor for us to beat in most ways. So
True.
Headshot
had to be hit. And I took a gamble. And I rolled it. And I rolled a 10. And I rolled on top. I was a 10 roll.
Yeah.
And I hit him in the head. And you have to do, in 2020, you had to do 20 point, was it? No, it's 12 points of damage?
8. It's 8.
Yeah.
8 for the headshot.
Yeah, and a
sniper rifle. But that's after armor is subtracted.
Right. So a sniper rifle does 5d6 damage.
Right.
And a headshot doubles it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was rolling 10 dice. The guy was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't gonna live. It was it was great. that was probably one of the most epic scenes in one of my games, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with everything else going around around everywhere. Yeah, that was
cool.
Our poor acting troupe died.
Yeah, our acting troupe.
Oh yeah.
Poor paid cops.
Is that all?
I have a good.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a good question, actually. Has there been any NPCs that have died that anybody's been sad about yet in this?
In this game? Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah.
All of my band members.
You didn't know them. No, just kidding.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Right. It mattered to Wraith. It was less so to me.
I mean, for me, it was definitely Hal.
Yeah.
Why
no,
did Hal?
Z.
I think Z was pretty intense.
Z was rough.
Who else has died?
Z, Hal, Rico.
Yeah.
Well, Moxie's a little mad at Rico, so to be
There's
fair.
a matter of opinion on which some of the characters may be dead and may not be dead, like Jenny and Kenner and.
Oh, right, there is the ambiguous.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's true.
So I mean, it's just interesting to see if there was anybody that people thought about. I mean, of course, Z was probably the most graphic. That be the way to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really well done, but
Thank you.
definitely probably the most graphic person. But we also, I mean, we almost lost Rex in one of our firefights.
Yeah,
It's true.
the same one that we lost Hal, right?
Yeah, same firefight.
I mean, we almost lost Rex twice.
Oh, true. Yeah, the second one wasn't a firefight, but it was still like, yeah,
But it was close.
Yeah,
it was
true.
close.
Yeah.
He was that close to dying before Hal gave up his. That's why Hal was so important, obviously, because he kept Rex alive.
And also Sonny going to jail, that's basically a death for me. So Sony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. What sucks is we were going to be buddies with. We had it planned out. We were going to be buddies with Sony.
If not for the blue-eyed man.
I would just like to say that
tilt.
you two planned on being buddies with Sony. That was never Moxie's plan. Ever.
I know. But I loved that tilt when you guys were like so excited coming back. And I'm like, I've had this planned, to have the Blue Eyes call. And I'm just like, I was curious what you were going to do. I am actually surprised you guys decided to take the Eyes' path, I suppose.
We didn't have other
we find
options.
the Eyes. Oh,
what?
Yeah,
you had other options. Sure, you did. I mean,
no.
Not great option.
We could have let Moxie die. I mean, that was definitely an option.
True.
Well, you could have let Moxie go. Moxie would try to handle it herself, which would have been very interesting.
Or you guys, come up with some plan to protect Moxie, or you could have done something differently. It could have been.
But Cass never would have gone that way. To him, the easiest way was to let Sonny die because Sonny was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, by just putting him away, he didn't die.
Right.
That's true.
That was just making him accountable for being an asshole.
Yeah.
What
did a lot of drugs.
Does I guess Deeps doesn't know, but like for Wraith, how does Wraith view the Eyes now?
I've never trusted the Eyes. Like from the get, he is the bad guy. I am very anti-corporate, protect my people, and as far as I can tell, he is the boogeyman.
Except he gave us information that took down a corrupt city official and a gang.
No,
it's always
that
layers.
Was all part of his plan.
All layers.
Yeah, it's like
trusting
a fae. You just don't do it.
Depends on the fae. Some are really cute. Really sweet. And they tuck your hair back behind your ear.
The cuter they are, the sweeter they are, the most likely they are to have problems.
Mm-hmm. Or end up romantically involved with some type of demon. So.
Yeah.
Touche.
Thank you for getting my Monster Hearts reference.
That was a fun game, by the way. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was good.
I still have the nail polish. A little bit.
I know, I saw that. I've been liking running random one-shots, so thank you for letting me.
Of course. Anytime.
Speaking of the Eyes, though, I am curious to see when he next appears, because at this point, I feel like it'll be a while, but it'll be at the most inopportune time, as he so normally does. But I'm curious to know his interest, because he knows my character's backstory, which is hella sus to her. But I'm very curious. Let's on that he does, yeah. So I'm very curious to untangle that thread. But is there any other NPCs that you guys would like to see more that haven't come in yet?
Well, that's a good question.
That haven't
been or just that the Eyes has been here for a bit, but I'm still curious about that.
But he's only appeared
thread.
Maybe 3 times story-wise and twice in person.
So you're asking NPCs that we've met that we kind of want to see fleshed out a little more?
Or any that have kind of drawn your interest.
Actually, we're actually kind of doing it right now. I really like the character.
Don't remember the name.
We're doing her mission.
Colt?
Colt.
Colt Murphy.
I can never remember
Colt
Colt's
Murphy.
name.
Really?
I really like Colt Murphy.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I really like that we're getting to interact with her and her team more. So
Yeah, you got to
excited
meet
about
her clan leader. Or did I
pack leader?
reveal that? I don't
Nope.
know if I have. Well,
You just did.
No, I did.
Spoilers, every night City Sofa, show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You'll
wants
get to
more-
learn something.
If you want some insight into what's going on, I will probably accidentally say something.
Yeah, like that time when you guys ran into Killjoy. Oh.
Oh.
You guys knew it was Killjoy, though. All right,
Oh,
so
I
you did.
knew. No, I knew.
We did.
It was one from the past. I
Justin.
couldn't remember the name. I could
Just
not remember the
meant
name.
nothing.
yeah, Killjoy means nothing to Jess.
And I was like, dang it. Because 8-Ball, if you would have brought 8-Ball in, we all would have been like, oh, it's 8-Ball. But we
Yeah.
couldn't remember Killjoy's name.
You're terrible. You hang out at an aquarium.
Dude, that aquarium was cool.
It was, but I don't trust it.
That's fair.
Is there any other questions, Jess? We're kind of getting close on time.
We
Oh,
are.
yeah.
There was only one left, and it's for Moxie, and I feel odd asking myself questions.
Okay. I can ask it. Is it in the chat?
It is. I mean, I have it in front of me, but yeah,
No,
it's
I'll
in
ask.
the
Hold on.
Q&A thing.
Hold on.
What about you ask it, but you cover your mouth and he'll do the lips for it?
What was Moxie's childhood like, and why did she become a media?
So I can pseudo answer this, because most people know that she was a nomad. She used to be a nomad. She is from England. They do have cars in England. Cammy, just a reminder. It's yep.
Wait,
Drive
they
on the other
do?
side of the road, but they still exist. So a lot of her childhood was spent traveling, was spent with not just blood family but extended family, and a lot of it was spent in fight and flight, not or both.
Right, fight and flight.
Fight and flight. So her childhood was, and it was a lot of loss too. So that's why there's a lot of.
How old is Moxie?
Moxie, that is a real great question. I actually
50.
have I know her
Oh, wow.
birthday actually,
That's
believe
surprising.
it or not.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Let's have a birthday.
I have plans
episode.
if she survives that long. She's 27.
Oh, nice. So she definitely was around for the bombing of Arasaka Tower.
She came to Night City after the bombing, and she helped refugees from
Nice.
the area. She helped them grow intensities. Their pack got bigger. She helped rebuild part of the city. So,
Neato.
like with the storage container towns.
Gotcha. That's
So
what your
she
nomads
she
did.
that. Yeah,
Nice.
and renting supplies. She ran supplies from different areas when they needed them.
Nice.
And she became a media because some shit happened, which I will not go into because that is a big part of her backstory. And she's looking for answers because the corps are evil and she's going to take them down. She just doesn't know where to start. And of course, because she trusts nobody, she won't ask for help, which is
Right.
so great.
I'm helping.
Yeah, but you don't have the skills to help her the way that she needs to help. And the one person she finally was like, I think I can trust this person to help me, left. So, there was a whole backslide there.
Right.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I couldn't have two net runners in the group. It just wouldn't work.
No. It makes sense. Eventually, maybe she'll trust Deeps.
I feel like Moxie is finally starting to trust me, Wraith, when he's sober.
She definitely
kinda
likes
see
him
that
when
too.
he's sober. Better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes better decisions when he's sober.
I disagree. I think there are much more colorful decisions when he was not sober, but
Define better.
yeah.
Our perceptions of better are very different. Moxie's also very, I don't know if you've noticed this, into like positive reinforcement. So she's trying to encourage Wraith to stay clean. But it's the same with Swag though, right? She's nice to him because that will help her get what she needs.
That's true.
Same thing with Tank. Oh, if I'm nice to him, I get to shower probably for free if I keep going. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, but you didn't have to call him. Or text him.
I didn't. No, she didn't. But that plays into a little bit into her low empathy turning to cyber psycho of being a little bit impulsive and needing to find ways to escape her head.
That makes sense.
Do you worry about falling to cyber psycho?
Do I or does Moxie?
Well, do you? Because I don't think Moxie does.
Moxie actually might. Moxie might more than I do.
All right.
That's why she never goes to therapy.
Moxie is also very, what is it? Prideful? She thinks she's in control. She can see herself in control. And so far, this isn't affecting her ability to take down a corporation and isn't affecting her ability to get the answers that she needs.
True.
In fact, it's a little bit better that she doesn't care so much about people because it lets her focus on what she needs to do. So it's easier for her to not go to therapy and regain that. Plus, she doesn't have the fucking money for it or the time.
Just act like I never.
But that's when people are like, Moxie, you could get this, you could get this. She's like, no, I'm good. There was a point where people were like, do you want anything? And she's like, no. She's not seeking to get chromed out. She's seeing what that can do to people.
Well, you really got to see what that can do to people.
Very firsthand.
I loved that episode, actually. That was one of my favorite stories to tell in this game, I think.
It was good.
Yeah. So, and Moxie would be a little more aware of it than I am. I don't know. I go with it as it goes. We'll see how she feels, because certain interactions with the team will change things.
Right.
You know, she might have considered therapy ahead of time, and then with spoilers, Cass's death, Cammy leaving, and Wraith disappearing, she was abandoned again and she was all alone. Even if it was only for a week, she was still left completely alone. So she was about to open up and realized, I still can't trust anyone but myself.
Right. And
closed off again. Ooh. So so she's in this weird space of, but Wraith came back. That's the thing. Wraith came back. So now it's like, okay, well, maybe I can. And Cammy still keeps in touch. So hasn't completely lost those connections. So she's in this wavy spot. But yeah, no, if they had abandoned her, I think she'd go closer to going cyber psycho because it's easier for her to detach those emotions.
Yeah, makes sense.
I also want to apologize for the falling out that Moxie and Wraith had.
That's okay.
During that whole thing. Yeah, but that's more or less why he disappeared and didn't really talk to you, and he had to process his emotions and all that, so I'm sorry, I was a jerk.
Oh, no.
I was the jerk.
No, player me totally understands.
Because I died, and that caused everything to happen.
Understand.
Because Cass died. It was Cass's fault that all this happened.
Yeah, dumb Cass.
Dang. To be fair, Moxie does blame Cass for a lot. She's actually angry at him for his decision. She does not agree with it.
Oh, without him dying.
I think it's because she's so strongly connected to Cammy.
Oh.
And she's pissed at him for leaving Cammy behind.
Oh.
It's less the decision, but that she didn't agree with him leaving Cammy behind.
Moxie was the only one that saw that he made Cammy run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't run with her.
Yeah.
True. I mean, I get that.
Yeah. So she can understand. As a player, I think you made an amazing decision. But Moxie's still kind of pissed that Cass didn't live for Cammy.
Well, I was down to like no movement, so
Yeah.
like there was no running.
Oh no,
so
it makes sense. It makes total sense. It's just like,
sucks.
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Player me, I think you did amazing. I mean, also character Moxie's kind of angry at the world, so don't take it personally.
That's true.
Makes sense.
She
No,
really
I
doesn't
totally
like
get that.
anybody. She likes two
Yeah.
people.
The eyes
Pons and Cammy?
and pawns.
Pawns and Cammy. Wraith's getting there. He's slowly moving up, but no, those two she'd actually probably divert her own personal stuff to help out.
Nice. I like that Pons has become kind of a staple almost.
Oh yeah. He's our buddy.
Although less so probably soon as Wraith develops his
Wraith's like, no.
You got a lot of
Like,
faith in me, kid.
No, he's our on the scene surgeon,
If things
And
go
then-
real bad,
and then Pons is the
guy who cleans it up.
facility.
who is
yeah.
competent?
Yeah, the facility. 'Cause he has a whole shop. You need a coconut IV? That's great.
Right. That's about it.
Any more questions? Anybody?
I don't think so. I think that we covered pretty much everything. Do we have anything coming up that we want to mention?
Our Saturday game is coming up.
Mhm. Very excited for the next mission that's coming.
We have some projects in the works, but they're not
Those are
quite
down the
ready
line, though.
to be
Yeah.
released yet.
Announced, yeah.
We're going to be hitting a year soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nearing our year.
That's in November.
Some new Patreon content is going up tonight, so it should be up by morning.
I think that's the
Oh,
Monster Hearts
okay.
2 episode.
It is.
Which is good. You guys should watch that if you like what we do.
That's good.
It's a good episode. We had a special guest star for it,
Mhm.
Pengy 1309.
She came in from her stream, which was a mental wellness stream, and did our fun monsters with teen trauma game. So
Yeah, that was such a good game. I had fun.
Yep.
I like playing characters that cause a little trouble. So that's
I'm all for it.
What?
It was good.
Yeah.
trying to think if
Also-
I have. Oh, good.
Oh no, if you have a question, think about it. But I will say, because I did mention one of the questions I had, but we kind of discussed it, was that Deeps does seem a lot more like introverted and about himself than Cass was. Like more selfish and self-absorbed, like more solo than our Solo was. And you already kind of talked about that's how you wanted to portray him. So I just wanted to say that, yeah, no, it's definitely coming across.
Yeah.
Good.
He seems very introspective, so, and overwhelmed with the non-floating world.
True.
Well, he's had a lot happen to him, so I'm trying to bring it into like he's trying to hold it together type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everything like that. So like doing those kind of menial tasks are actually easier for him than being with the group right now.
Right.
An NPC I would like to see more of is Minami, because I love playing her.
I do like Minami.
Oh, she's
He's
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I always like playing Rex. I think he's cool.
Yeah. He hated me when I met him.
I don't think
No,
he
I
was a
don't think he
fan of
hated
any of us.
I didn't think he liked any of you. He was
He thought
like
we were-
lukewarm, maybe. No, Luke cold with
Yeah.
with Angus, and that was it at the beginning.
Yeah.
We were just a couple punks though to him at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
That chick almost died on his sofa. I think he said at one point.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, do we want to mention that there might be a special Halloween episode coming up?
Yes, there is a special Halloween episode coming up. But that's like a month and a half away, man.
It's a month
Never
away.
too early to talk about Halloween.
Month and
Uh-huh.
Be excited.
To be fair, Halloween lead up starts all the way back in May. So we're really late on the button on this one.
It's a month and a half away. What are you talking about?
It's like 2 weeks at most.
No.
It's true.
I don't think I
Yeah.
have anything else, so I guess this is a good a time as any to close.
Which is good because our hour's up.
Woo!
Yay! We
And,
made
yeah.
it.
Thank y'all for attending and sitting here and chatting with us.
I hope we
We
did.
will see you next time.
All right.
We should
Bye,
raise
guys.
somebody.
We should rate
Oh,
people.
yeah. You should rate somebody.
I don't have anybody playing things that are interesting.
Neither do I.
Sirenscape's doing their thing.
Oh, let's do Sirenscape. It's Sirenscape, right? SYR.
Don't do the wrong one.
INSCAPE.
Got it, I
Yeah,
think.
I did want to talk about rates like character progression, but that will take way more time than we had. So
I mean,
He progressed.
okay.
All right.
I guess it's a good question for next time.
Next time,
Right.
on Night
Yeah.
City Sofa.
All right, I'm
Find
gonna.
out about
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Why I do things.
why Wraith's character progression happened.
Right?
Cool. I'm gonna switch to our honor our patrons scene, and then we will raid over to Sirenscape.
thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.